self-driven. Number 2, sustainable. Number 3, enjoyable. Because who wants to live a healthy lifestyle that's not fun? So, there's a bit about me. I don't want to talk about that too much because you guys probably don't care that much. But I'm putting this up here to say that I kind of know what I'm talking about. So if you want to listen, you can. Here we go. About me. Again, here's some stuff about me. Basically, what you need to know about this, if you want to read through it, go ahead. But I've had the privilege of working directly with hundreds of people, both in person, online, through email, through social media, and indirectly, I've worked with tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people through all of the DVDs and the books, the ebooks, and all the videos that I've put out. So I've been very blessed in that regard, and I've learned a lot from the experience, and I want to teach some of what I've learned to you in this short time that we have here. Who I work with and their struggles. All right, so give me my, let's see, who's here for general fitness? Let's say functional fitness. You just want to be able to move around during the day, you want to be healthy, you don't want to have pain. Raise your hand. Okay. Cool. Who's here to like improve their performance for running? Okay. Good. Cool. Well, and who's a man? Okay, no one's a man. And women too. Great. So I work with all these people. People interested in getting stronger, and that includes, oh gosh, I didn't do this as one click. Okay. So these are the kinds of, mostly the kinds of people that I work with. Because really what I do is applicable to everyone, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But here's what most people struggle with. Put that up so you guys can read it if you want. Oh, too far. So, there are struggles. Recurring injuries. So if you have injuries that just keep coming back, maybe you go to rehab and then you get better, and then you go out and return to what you're doing, and it still hurts, right? So those kind of people. Functional day-to-day fitness, as we discussed, just being able to do that you want to do what you want to do on a daily basis. Performance, so again, those are like my athletes, my runners that I work with, CrossFit type people. Overtraining, burnout, these are my guys who are in their 40s and 50s and they're not 20 anymore, but they think they are, and they keep training like they have been. Chronic pain, so people with chronic lower back pain. Pain and discomfort during exercise, so these are people who don't normally have pain, but then they start to work out, and then it hurts. And that's usually caused by a lack of mobility or a lack of core strength. And inconsistency with exercise. So this is where I'm going to touch on today. And these are for people who just lack the motivation or the drive to want to get up and actually work out. Highlight. So here are some results of people that I work with. No more painkillers. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of people that I work with have been on painkillers for years, and now they don't use painkillers anymore. They also know how to treat themselves. So if they have back pain, they're like, oh, I know that I need to do this stretch, or I need to do this exercise, and it will help. Weight loss. I just had a guy last week share with me that he's lost 20 pounds in a month. And I've interacted with people who have actually told me they've lost 50, even 80 pounds. That's just over the course of a few months, but it happens. It's not just yoga is good for weight loss too if done the right way. Recovery from injury prevention, again, kind of talked about that, but just helping people strengthen their bodies because injuries are caused by weakness. Injuries are preventable, not all of them are preventable, but a lot of injuries are preventable if you do the right exercises. So we kind of address the root causes of those injuries and those problems. Improve performance, running faster, jumping higher, all the things that, remember that AOL upgrade like a few years ago? Where he did all those things better. Okay, two. We're going to have like some bad jokes today, and we're going to have some good jokes. So laugh if it's funny, and if it's not, just give me a look. Like, no, that was bad. Better muscle activation. So this refers to your ability to engage your muscles. So a lot of people will have issues with engaging their abs, right, or using their butt muscles. And so this is one big aspect of fitness I help with. But I've also seen a lot of failures. A lot of people who haven't gotten the results that they wanted. And here's what I've seen. Giving up on workout programs. Not having the motivation to do the workouts on their own. Not a necessary lifestyle change, meaning that you might be working out 3 times a week, but you're still eating like a not healthy or not good, you know? All the bad food. Not sleeping. That's a big issue too. Oh boy. And what I've learned most of all is that if you lack the motivation or you lack the necessary mindset or a solid foundation upon which to build a healthy lifestyle, then it's not going to happen. And let's see what I actually wrote. Ta-da. So if you don't have the right mindset, you won't be successful with creating a healthy lifestyle for yourself. And this is what I want to talk about with you today. My goal for you is, again, the title of my speech. I want you to be able to create a healthy lifestyle that is, number 1, self-driven, number 2, sustainable, and number 3, enjoyable. Because again, you don't want to be healthy if it's not fun. But there's lots of strategies to do this, and it actually starts with a very simple process. Number 1 is why. Why do you want to live a healthy lifestyle? And you might be looking at me right now and say, Dean, that's a dumb question. I want to live a healthy lifestyle because I know it's good for me. Okay, but why do you think it's good for you? And then after we answer that question, we get to another why. So our goal here is to keep asking yourself, I'm already in New Jersey. Keep asking yourself why until you get the real answer. So who has kids? Cool. You guys have done the ultimate humankind act. Congratulations. Wonderful. So, which of your kids have gone through the why phase? Raise your hand if you've had a kid go through the why phase. Okay, great. So that why phase is when they keep saying, you say, car is black. Why is the car black? Does daddy want a black car? Why does daddy want a black car? I didn't actually prepare that. That's just a random thing that I came up with here. But the point is, he keeps asking why, or she keeps asking why, until she gets the real answer. And that's what you need to do when you're coming up with your reason for wanting to work out in the first place, for wanting to be healthy, for wanting to make those sometimes more difficult decisions. Why is this important? I'm going to give every part of the presentation that I give today, I'm going to give you a reason why it's important. Number 1, because it makes it easier. If anything else, it makes it easier. When you understand what your why is, when you have clarity, when you know what your goal is or why you're doing it, it makes it so much easier. Right? If I were to say, why are you working out? And you say, because I'm supposed to, right? Or because someone told me I want to, that's kind of vague. Right? We want to have a very meaningful, clear why. Number 2, it gives you an endless supply of intrinsic motivation, meaning that this is something that you can always draw upon to motivate you. So if you're looking at your workout for the day, or you're looking in the kitchen and you're trying to find something to eat, if you remember your why, you'll look at the healthy food and then you'll look at the non-healthy food and you'll say, oh, that why. That's why I'm being healthy. This is important to me. I'm going to choose the healthy food. So it makes it way easier, and it gives you that endless supply of motivation. Endless, there's an asterisk there because willpower does run out, but we'll cover that too. Constant, easily accessible reminders. So this is something that ideally you want to put on the top of a door frame, maybe in your office or maybe in your bedroom. You don't actually have to do this, but the importance of this statement and also the simplicity of it is something that you can easily recall. And again, when you have that clarity, when it's easy to recall, when it makes sense, then it just makes things way easier. So why is why important? Because number 1, it's going to make it easier, and really number 2, because it makes it simple. Finding your why. You want to ask yourself these types of questions. And this is where you can furiously scribble. I don't think anyone's taking notes, so I'm going to scratch all my note-taking things from what I was about to say. Number 1, why do you want to be healthier? Obviously, that's the most simple question here. For whom do you want to be healthier? Because you're not just doing it for yourself, right? We have people who are important in our lives. We want to live for them. We want to increase the quality of their lives. We want to increase the quality of our lives. What do you hope to gain? Right? And this is when everyone loves making fitness goals. I'm going to lose 50 pounds, and then I'm going to be able to run 26 miles, or I'm going to bench 300 pounds. Okay, those are good, but what do you fear? This is where it gets powerful. What are you scared of? If you're not healthy, if you don't take those healthy actions on a regular basis, what do you fear will happen? What will you miss out on? And finally, what will you lose? What do you have now that you won't have? It just got really dark. Like that part of the Tony Robbins conference when he says, everyone will be really sad now and imagine all that anger and fear. Okay, maybe that was just... All right. So our goal is, anyways, we want to get to the real reason, or the reasons why we want to be healthy in the first place. Unacceptable answers. I want six-pack abs. This is an aesthetic goal. It is not. It is a result of living a healthy lifestyle, maybe even to the point where it's too healthy and therefore not healthy. But that's not a great reason. This isn't good motivation. I want other people to like me. Like yourself. I want to look better. Why do you want to look better? We want to look better because we want to be accepted. We want to feel accepted, right? But there's always a deeper answer to these questions to these answers that you come up with, and you want to get deeper. So here are some better answers. It should strike an emotional chord. When you say it out loud, you should feel vulnerable. When you say, I want to be healthy because I want to be here for my kids, right? That's deep. That means something. It should be personally important. So it shouldn't be a vague something that's important to everybody. It should be something that's personally important to you. And then number 3, it might touch on a personal insecurity. So our hopes and our fears usually stem from some form of insecurity, something that we don't feel, maybe it's something about which we do not feel good. Maybe it's something that we're scared of happening, but it touches on personal insecurity. How to do this? So part 1, how are you going to do this? And this is the end of part 1, but my recommendation is that you go out into nature and you sit down with a notebook, you turn off your phone, and you just start scribbling answers for yourself. Get yourself removed from distractions and start answering these questions for yourself, and sit down and actually take the time to do it. It might take 10 minutes, it might take 20 minutes, it might even take an hour, or it might take multiple sessions. But eventually, you're going to come up with a bunch of answers. You're going to be thinking about what's most important in your life. You're going to come up with lots of great answers, and then you're going to be able to find a common theme for that. You're going to kind of just circle all the good answers and try to find a common theme, and you'll be able to, from this big list of answers that you come up with yourself, all these reasons, now you can simplify them into one simple why statement. And then again, that's the thing that you keep. Maybe you write it on an index card and you put it in your wallet. Maybe you get it tattooed on you. Probably not. That's extreme, because it might change over time. Actually, your why does change over time. It might. So, and now we're moving on. But if you want to learn more about getting deeper into why, there's a book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. It's a great book. It's actually made for marketers, but it's equally applicable to really anything, I think. I read it once a year. Part 2, goals. But not just any goals. Personally meaningful, specific habits. We're going to break all that down. And I didn't write just goals. I didn't write just SMART goals. Who's familiar with SMART? SMART goals? S-M-A-R-T, SMART goals. Cool. It's an acronym. But not just that. All right, so part 1. Personally meaningful, specific, habit-based goals. Let's get to the first part of that. By personally meaningful, we mean tied to your why, tied to your specific reason for wanting to be healthy. If you come up with a goal and it doesn't mean anything to you, then why would you want to do it, right? Maybe you feel some obligation to do it, but it's not something that you actually want to do. Everything starts with your why. Everything is tied back into the why. So any goal that you make is easily trackable from that why statement that you came up with. And again, that way everything has meaning. So instead of having something that doesn't tie back into that foundation of why, right, we have something that's directly tied into it. It makes everything way easier. It's easy to sustain. Specific. All right, so we want to have a specific goal. We don't want to have a broad goal. Instead of saying, I want to live a healthy lifestyle, right, that's vague. What does that mean? We want to get as specific as we possibly can. So an easy way to think about this is SMART, S-M-A-R-T goals, which means specific, for S. M is measurable, which means that we can actually track it somehow. Usually it's a number of days or weeks or pounds or some sort of number. We want it to be achievable, so we want to see possible. One big problem with fitness goals is that people set goals that are way over here, and we're really only willing to do this much. And when we don't accomplish those goals, what happens is we teach ourselves kind of learned helplessness with fitness goals, right? So we want to teach goals that we can actually attain. Otherwise, it's just the same old, same old. Relevant, again, that's getting back to why it's personally meaningful to you. Not something that's meaningful to someone else, but something that actually means something to you. And time bound. So we want it to happen within a specific amount of time. It's tracking it. Kind of goes back into being trackable. And then the last part of this is habit-based, because ultimately you're here to build a healthy lifestyle, right? You're not here to lose 20 pounds and then go back to what you were doing before. We want to lose weight to keep it off. We want to live a healthy lifestyle so that we can continue to be healthy. It's not a means to an end. So that's why I put habit-based and not outcome-based goals. Oh, they're done. So again, it's a healthy lifestyle. What's going to happen from your healthy lifestyle are the results. But ultimately, our goal here is to create a healthy lifestyle so that we continue to see those results. So that it's not a means to an end, but something that you keep getting from, so to speak. The example here is the key to getting ripped. And the reason why I put this here is because I have a blog called, I think, 6 Principles to Getting Ripped, or 6 Practices. And what it really came down to, I had a lot of back and forth with people on this, and people commented their suggestions, and they left their comments, and I had conversations about it. And what it really comes down to is getting ripped, or just being healthy in general. It's the process. It's not that you did this one thing and then you became healthy. It's that you did all the things that go into being healthy, you enjoyed them, and then one day you looked in the mirror and you're like, whoa, I look better than I used to, or I feel, or you were walking down the street and you're like, I feel pretty good. This is nice. This doesn't hurt me. That's my hands. All right, so examples. A good example of diet would be to eat a healthy dinner 5 times per week, right? Because this is measurable. This is not an outcome-based, right? We're not saying, I want to eat a healthy dinner 5 times a week so I lose 10 pounds. We're saying, I want to create a habit of eating healthy 5 times per week. It also gives us room for error, right? Because if we say 7 times per week, that means every meal we have to eat is healthy. So if you give yourself some room for error, now we can still live a normal life. And again, 4 weeks, I'll put that later actually, but I like to make health goals in terms of 1 month. Because when you do a goal for 1 month, it's something that can be tracked. So you can usually notice if it's working or not, but you can also go back and say, okay, this isn't working, I need to revise this. So 1 month is a good period when it comes to making fitness goals. Exercise, let's make a goal to exercise 6 times per day. Or let's make it 4 times per day, 30 minutes. But again, my point here is I'm making a habit-based goal. I'm not making a goal to lose 10 pounds from exercise. I want to make it a habit to exercise. Sleep, another goal. Let's set aside 8 hours of sleep. You probably can't always expect to get great sleep every night, but 5 nights per week, that's pretty manageable. So my tips, again, 1 month time frames. So try to make your goals in 1 month time frames. You can make 6-month goals or year goals, but break them up, right? So make them so you're starting your goal at 1 month and you're progressing to a 3-month goal and then a 6-month and then a year. But you want to break those down into 1 month increments. So not everything like 1 year, because you could get 10 months in and you realize, oh, I've only got 2 months to reach my goal. That was a year-long process though. So we want to set things 1 month at a time because we can keep ourselves, it makes it more manageable. We can hold ourselves more accountable that way. Set modest goals at first. Again, I think that when it comes to fitness, a lot of people are really used to disappointment because for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out. So I want you to set modest goals at first to teach yourself, to reinforce subconsciously that you can achieve your fitness goals and not that it's something that is you're bound to fail, right? So I want you to set modest goals and improve from there. You've got your whole life to do this, right? It doesn't have to happen this week. So start small, work your way up. And write down your goals. This is not just fitness, but everything, right? Who writes down their goals? I'm actually just curious. Who writes down their goals? Not fitness-wise? Cool. So, writing down your goals is not just great for fitness, but it's good for anything. Business, personal, what other aspects are there? I'll think of that. And see them often. So you want to, again, kind of like the why statement that we came up with, we want to access that, those words frequently. We want it to be in front of us. Maybe it's something that you put on an index card and stick in your mirror. Can you tell that I like index cards? I like index cards. But it's something maybe that you stick in your mirror, or you put on the refrigerator, or, again, maybe it's something that you tattoo temporarily. All right, let's go on to part 3, which is making wellness a non-negotiable priority. A non-negotiable priority. That means you don't argue with it. That means that it's something that you stick with, and that no matter what, you make that a priority. I had a video here, but then I realized I didn't have internet, and it didn't load the way I wanted to. So I'm going to explain the jar of life analogy here. Picture that I've got a goldfish. Okay? Now, this goldfish has limited area, right? I can only put so many things into my goldfish jar. So I can only put so many things into my jar. If I fill it up with golf balls, right? I can put in lots of different golf. I can put in a lot of golf balls. Your golf balls signify the things that are really important to you. Your family, your friends, your fitness, your job, your kids, who are also your family. And then if you want to put other things in it, those are going to be your marbles. Those are the smaller things, right? So those are maybe your car, your house. A house is big. Okay, that jump. So your marbles are your less important things, right? And then we've got sand, and that's the smallest thing. Put some sand in there, you can almost fill it up, and now we've got water. And that's even the smaller thing. That's like what other people think about us, or just little, getting caught up in traffic. Now, you can fill that entire jar with sand if you wanted to, and there'd be no room for golf balls. You could fill it with marbles. There'd be no room for golf balls. Or you could fill it with, I think that's it I had in my analogy. Point is, you have to make and choose your priorities. Otherwise, you're going to let all the other stuff fill up your goldfish jar of life, and you won't have time to do that stuff because you haven't made it a priority. So, probably better in a video format, but the point is making wellness a non-negotiable priority. And that comes down to just making a plan. So planning for the future. It's not just going to happen on accident, it's something that happens because you plan for it. Why do we need to make wellness a priority? Again, it's like one of those questions that, okay, Dean, wellness is a priority because fitness and diet, nutrition is important because I want to live longer. But there's more benefits to it than just that. Number 1, we're saving time and energy. When you make a plan and stick to that plan, you don't have to think about it as much. If I were to go to the gym, for example, and I know exactly what I'm going to do before I go there, and I know I'm going to do one of these, I'm going to do one of these, I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 of this, then I don't have to spend energy thinking about what am I going to do. I don't get to the gym. This is where my gym is. I get to my gym and I look at all the exercises and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do today? There's so many choices. No, you already know what you're going to do because you planned for it. And by planning for it, you're saving your time and energy. You don't have to spend that energy or that time thinking about what you're doing. You can actually apply that energy into the task itself. So number 1, it saves time and energy. Number 2, it makes healthy living automatic. How cool would it be if you just woke up every day and you worked out for an hour and then you made a healthy breakfast and then everyone just perked up. So how cool would it be if you just lived a healthy life automatically? That's normal for a lot of people. It's automatic, and the reason is because they've built habits on top of one another. They have planned it out, and they've got to the point where it is automatic. They don't think about it. They just do it out of habit. Something that I think is really interesting, there's a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, D-U-H-I-G-G. And in it, he talks about the amount of subconscious activity that we go through every day, just the amount of things that we do without really realizing it. And 60 to 80%, and I could be wrong, it might be 40 to 60%, but that's still a ton of time. 40 to 60 or 60 to 80% of what we do, we don't think about doing. We just automatically do it. So if we build a healthy lifestyle for ourselves, and we make it a priority, and we stick to that schedule, it becomes to a point where we don't even have to think about it. It's just automatic. It's just something that we do. You don't even have to make the decision to work out because you're used to working out. You're used to making a healthy dinner, a healthy meal. And then number 3, improving your discipline. I want you to think about like the most successful person that you know, right? You'll probably say they're really disciplined, right? Or they have a really clear purpose, which is also what I talked about. But discipline is the sum of the habits that you create for yourself. Discipline is not something where they don't, it's something that's developed. It's like strength. Yes, some people might be genetically dispositioned to be more disciplined, but it's something that anybody can develop. And all it takes is building one habit on top of the other. So you can improve your discipline by making the plan, sticking to it. Guidelines. Make a detailed daily and weekly plan. People ask me how detailed should it be. You should be able to visualize the task from start to finish. So if people are asking you, well, okay, what does a healthy meal mean? You're going to write out, a healthy meal means that I have at least 50% of vegetables in what I'm eating, and I have healthy grass-fed meat, and I'm going to have a little bit of carbs. Right? So you know exactly what that means. So you want to be as detailed as possible. Again, visualizing from start to finish. Someone else should be able to look at the plan and do it themselves. Or you should run through it in your head and visualize the entire task. And again, know exactly what's happening. Have a backup plan though, right? Because life doesn't always go the way that we want it to. Right? Life happens. Your kids get sent to the principal's office. Your car breaks down. Things happen. And we don't want it all to fall apart when that happens. So we need a backup plan. Right? We need something for food-wise. We need to know, okay, I can't make dinner tonight, but I know that there's a healthy restaurant that I can do takeout from that's 5 minutes from my house. Or, okay, I don't have time for my 45-minute workout tonight, but I can do a 20-minute workout from home. Right? So we can make backup plans. And then the last part of this is being conscious of and adjusting your schedule as it goes. So for me, this simply means I have my index card. I have my index card, I've got my schedule written out, and maybe I can't stick to that schedule, and that's pretty normal. But I'm going to adjust the schedule as the day goes on. So maybe I've got listed something to do at 1 o'clock, but my 12 o'clock thing runs over. I'm not going to look at the rest of the day and say, oh, well, I failed, day's on. I'm going to look at the rest of the tasks. I'm going to figure out what's important, and then I'm going to replan the rest of my day. So I'm not necessarily sticking to the plan, but I am being conscious of and changing the plan as the day goes on. All right, bringing me to my next point. We've got our why. We've got our reason why we want to be healthy in the first place. We've got our plan. We're making wellness a priority. And now, we're going to enjoy the process. Wait, did I skip a slide? Nope, I didn't. Now we're going to skip a sorry. And number 2 is we have our goals, we've got our plan that are based on our goals, and now, part number 4, enjoying the process, seeking growth. What does that mean? Another way to say it, we're enjoying this never-ending process of growth. Now, why do we seek growth or enjoyment? The reason is that's what gives us fulfillment. Reasons why you want to do this, keys to practicing this. So how do we live a healthy lifestyle? Again, we've made all the plans, we have the reason, we have the goals, and how do we actually do it? Number 1 is we recognize the opportunity to be healthy. If we don't actually recognize that there is an opportunity to be healthy, that's the first step, is going into the kitchen and understanding, I can make a healthy decision here. Or having 10 minutes or your lunch break and saying, this is an opportunity for me to be healthy. I can go outside and take a walk right now. Right, so if we don't actually recognize the opportunity to be healthy, then it's not going to happen. So we recognize it and we act on that opportunity. Next part is just do it. Personally, for me, for some certain things, right? I wanted to look up books on how to be better at this or how to be better at this. And really what it comes down to is you just have to do it. There's not some secret tip for this. There isn't some hack to, being able to instantly do things that you don't want to do. It's just forcing yourself to do it. Some things that you can do, we've got our why statement, right? We have motivation, but really what it comes down to is you just have to do it. Tracking. So there's lots of ways of tracking it. I think the easiest way to do is keep a wellness log, which is a larger index card in a notebook. So still have lines, we still have things that we can write on it. But it allows us to keep track of what we're doing, right? It allows us to say, I worked out today, like I did this today, I did that today. And when you have that, it's a physical representation of all the hard work that you put into your fitness, which is pretty cool. Because if you're lacking motivation one day, if you look back at your wellness log and you've done 2 months of workouts and 2 months of healthy eating, you're like, wow, this is pretty good. I don't want to give this up. All right, give me some progress. So, track it, hold yourself accountable. You can get a buddy, someone who's also interested in being healthy or implementing a new healthy lifestyle. You can work with your family, work with your friends, but you can find ways to hold yourself accountable. And then the last part is framing your activities within the model of flow. What is flow? Who's familiar with flow? Anybody? Okay, it's really awesome, and I've devoted an entire slide to it. So let's talk about flow. And the reason why flow is important, and it's all based on this book written by, I practiced, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, Hungarian. Yes. So it's all based on this book by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called Psychology, called Flow, the Psychology of Optimal Experience. And this is basically, so what he did to find out what he found from this book, he gave everyone pagers, and he paged them at random times during the day, and he asked them to rate their level of enjoyment or their level of happiness, and told them to write down what they were doing. And what he found out is that the majority of these happy activities had a similar framework, and that's what I'm going to talk about. And flow, he called it flow, and this is when we experience the most joy. First part of this is focused attention. So if you're on your phone, you will not enjoy it. If you're watching TV in the background, you probably won't enjoy it. So focusing 100% of your attention, immersing yourself in what you're doing. That's the first step. Second step is challenges. We might not think that we like challenges. Maybe we've had bad experiences with challenge in the past. But the truth is that we are biologically wired to enjoy challenges. Challenges give us fulfillment. Tackling and making a goal gives us fulfillment. Growth, meaning that there is opportunity for more complex and more difficult challenges. So we can move from level 1 to level 2. So the opportunity for growth is there. Or we move from juniors to seniors, or whatever you want to define as levels. Clearly defined goals. So this means that there are rules to what you're doing. So if you're playing football, right, there are rules. If you're reading a book, there are rules. You have to follow the words on the page. If you're walking, there are rules. You stay on the sidewalk or cautiously venture into the street. But the point is, there are goals. It's not chaotic. Feedback. Feedback means that we know whether or not we're doing something correctly. In the terms of exercise, we are doing the exercise and it doesn't hurt. We're feeling the right muscles engaging. We're getting from one end of the field to the other end of the field, right? So there's clear feedback that what we're doing is on the right path. Intrinsic enjoyment. That means that we would enjoy doing this activity, or we would do this activity even if we didn't have to do it. Pretty self-explanatory. But we don't want to be forced to do something, right? We want to enjoy the activity for the sake of the activity. And that can happen if we're being externally rewarded. So you could enjoy your job, and you could reach, and you can get flow in your job, even though you're getting compensated for it. But it's still something that you might enjoy doing, even if you weren't. Right? You probably won't experience flow if you're doing a job that you hate. Freely chosen, so it's something that you have elected to do on your own will. It's not something that someone's forcing you to do. It's something that you are doing because you want to do it. And then lastly, it creates order from disorder. So that means that you are figuring something out as you're doing it. You're creating order from the chaos. So this might mean rock climbing is a really good example, right? Rock climbing is scary, dangerous. If you're rock climbing and you don't have equipment, you could fall and, hurt yourself. But when we have all our equipment, when we have the skills, we're creating order from that chaotic situation. So that's what I mean by creating order from disorder. So during flow, and you've probably experienced flow before. So this is when time becomes distorted, we kind of lose our sense of selves, and we immerse ourselves in the activity. Do I have any athletes here, people who used to play sports? Okay, cool. So when you're playing, what do you play? Soccer? Lacrosse? Yeah. And soccer. You're my fiance. So when we're playing sport, right, and you're like in the game, and it's a close match, and you don't know who's going to win, and you're playing well, do you think about other things? Do you think about, I gotta do laundry, or like I have to work, or no, you're totally immersed in that activity. That is what flow feels like, right? You don't really have a sense of time. Time flies by quickly or it goes by slowly. We don't really have a sense of time. We lose our sense of self, right? We totally immerse ourselves in the activity. We're one with the team if you have a really good team atmosphere. And again, you completely experience what you're doing. You're not thinking about something else. So that's what flow feels like. But what if I don't play sports? Here's the cool thing. What activities allow us to experience flow? I'm going to have some people guess. Sure. Anything. Anything. Any activity. Walking. Golf. Perfect. Golf. Working.
Artistic painting.
Yes.
Running.
Running. Cool. All right. One more. Reading. Yes. So here's the cool thing. All of these things that you just mentioned are flow. Any activity can be considered flow if it meets these criteria. And anything can be made to fit that criteria, which is really cool. So you can experience flow in really anything, just as long as it's in that right criteria, or those right. So how can we improve our ability to experience flow? Number one, you practice it, so you do it more. You force yourself to, you're not forcing yourself to do it because you're freely choosing to doing it, but you're prolonging the activity, right? Maybe when you're reading, right, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've been reading for an hour now and this is getting tough. But maybe it's something that you need to do and you're like, I'm going to keep reading, right? Or maybe you're training, right? Maybe you're playing a game and you're like, oh, 10 minutes left, I'm tired, but I'm going to keep doing it. So you improve your ability to experience flow and thereby your ability to enjoy yourself by pushing yourself, by practicing, by prolonging that flow experience. Meditation and yoga. Oh, the yoga guy's talking about yoga now. Meditation and yoga. These are actually two ways that are proven to improve our flow experience. But what if we're still having trouble? All right, now I'm going to give you some tips to getting into the flow state, but also for kind of hacking health. Right? Hacking is just like a shortcut that actually works. Rewarding yourself. So we talked about how healthy activities are something that you want to freely engage in, but if you're not quite there yet, it's okay to reward yourself. It's okay to kind of trick yourself into liking something initially, and then until you get to the point where you're like, okay, now I do like this. But so like giving yourself an external reward until you start to appreciate the activity that you're doing a little bit more. Pay attention to the smaller details. Again, this kind of comes down to flow. One example is drinking wine. If you don't like drinking wine, or if you're not a wine connoisseur, then you might just have a glass of wine and you're like, all right, wine, how much do I need to drink? But if you like enjoying wine, if you know all this stuff, it's okay, just throw that out. So if you do like drinking wine, and you've tasted tons of different wines, hundreds of different wines, and you understand all the properties that go into it, wine drinking becomes enjoyable, right? So it could be that you just haven't started paying attention to the smaller details. Discover the challenges. Look for the challenges and things. Again, if you like challenges, try to find challenges. Use your autonomy. The more you create the plan, or the more you are involved in the decision-making process, the more you will enjoy it. If someone else forces you to do it, you don't like it. 100% focused. Again, turn off your distractions, get straight into it. Find a group atmosphere. If you don't like working out by yourself, join a group. Or join an atmosphere, join a society, join some sort of social environment where you actually are forced to do it and everyone else is doing it. It's going to make it easier. Pay someone to motivate you. Personal trainers are not that expensive. $30, $35 an hour maybe. Do that twice a week. That's the same as your Starbucks trips. All right, summary. Develop your why. This is something that is highly personal to you. It serves as your motivation to do all the stuff I just talked about. Number 2, create personally meaningful, specific, habit-based goals. That's a mouthful. So, again, making a goal based on your why, something that means something to you. Habit-based, meaning we're not creating an outcome-based goal, but the habit of being healthy. And then specific. So make it detailed. Be clear what it is. Number 3, making your wellness a non-negotiable priority. And that just means planning out your life in a way that wellness is an important part of it. It means that you're not saying, okay, I'll skip my workout today so I can do something else. No. Your workout is important to you because you want to be healthy, because of your why, so I'm going to do it. And then lastly, enjoy the process, seek growth. So we want to seek those flow activities that allow us to grow as individuals, become more complex, become more capable individuals, and that will help you enjoy the process of being healthy. And we'll end it there. So thank you. Cool. How much did I run over? You did. I did? 2 minutes. Okay. Well, I kept writing. I have some other 5 final tips, just in case. Number 1, develop interest. Find things that interest you. Find something that you like. Don't do something that you don't enjoy. Find something that interests you, develop your interest. Pay attention to those finer details. Immerse yourself in it. Slowly implement new habits and track your progress. Do not attempt to do everything at once. Don't go home and make a plan for yourself in which you are doing all these new healthy things immediately, because 9 out of 10 of you will get 2 months in and say, never mind. We want to slowly implement goals. You have your entire life to implement these goals. Make a schedule for yourself. Say, like, in October, I'm going to be putting these together. In November, I'm going to be implementing this goal. In December, then I'm going to have this goal. We can plan for the long term, but we can't plan everything at once. Change I have to I get to. We don't want to do anything we have to do. We want to do things we get to do. So just change the way you're saying it. Instead of saying I have to work out today, saying I get to work out today. Instead of I have to make a smoothie or I have to eat a healthy meal, I get to eat a healthy meal because it tastes good and it makes me feel good. Spend time by yourself. This is important to you, and it gives you time to recharge. I think even if you are a very social person, you should get used to spending time with yourself. Also, flow activities are often individual based. So in order to maximally enjoy your life, you have to spend some time of it alone and get used to being alone. Be used to being inside your own head. Celebrate your victories, and that's something that a lot of us don't do. But we need to celebrate our victories. If you accomplish something, if you stick to a goal, give yourself a little victory. You know, take the time to stop and say, this is good, I did something. I'm happy with myself. You know, don't do it disproportionately. Don't eat a healthy meal and then eat a pizza. Or don't do a workout and then gorge. But the point is that we can celebrate our victories, and that makes things more exciting. That's really without celebration, why would we really want to be, or enjoyment, why would we really want to be living, right? We want to enjoy it. And that is my part 1 of my presentation. For part 2, actually we're not doing part 2, but if you want to, I will send you part 2. So come over to my booth. I'm in the corner, the back left corner from here, back left. And I can talk to you guys questions. I'll also answer some questions if I have time to answer questions. I also have all the stuff that I do. So what I do with Manflow Yoga, that's what I do. I have an online members area, and that's where I put all my workouts, all of my lifestyle, my motivation, my workout programs. I put all that on the website. You can access it anywhere in the world, 24/7, which means that you don't have to schedule it out. You can just do it whenever you want, which is really nice. And then I also have my book there, which was just published in May of this year. It was #1 in 3 categories. It's been internationally published all over the world. It was featured in Muscle and Fitness magazine and Men's Health Online. So you can also pick up one from me, and I'll sign it if you want my signature for whatever reason. Questions? Any questions? Give me one question. Yes.
What got you started? Why did you start Manflow?
I started Manflow Yoga because I enjoyed the benefits that I was getting out of yoga. I was enjoying the aspects of strength that I wasn't getting from my other workouts. And I told my friends, hey, I'm gonna go to yoga, you should come do this with me. No, bro, I'm not doing yoga. So I said, fine, I will make yoga. So I made yoga in a way that was more approachable by men. I changed up the workouts, I changed some of the way that typical yoga is traditionally structured, and I made it more approachable by men, but also more effective in terms of fitness. So it's not just yoga, I also incorporate a lot of bodyweight stuff into it. Any other questions? Cool. Oh, what?
Is there like a membership or something for the videos?
Yeah. Yeah. So we also have so my members area has all of that content, and then it's easily organized and schedules of workouts, which makes it easier. Again, so you don't have to plan it out, you just have listed workouts. Yes. Cool. All right. Well, come say hi to me in the booth. I'll be over there for the rest of the day. Thank you guys for staying for the chat. What?
25% if you sign on.
Oh, right. Yes. I actually know how to do this. 5% savings today only. Actually, no, for the next week. But if you sign up today, I'll also give you the book. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. Dan doesn't have a question. All right. Thanks again for watching, guys. Okay to start. Just do it. You just got to do it. But you have to go through all of that. Figure out the why first. Oh, that was my other slide. Benefits of yoga, and then wait. How do we start?